What's up, gang? It's your trainer, Joe Stones, and we're back in the gym with you today. In our last workout, I showed you my favorite exercises for the 10 major muscle groups. Today, we are gonna do a workout, but we are gonna work out primarily our accessory muscles. Now, what are our accessory muscles? These are muscle groups that are complements to these bigger muscle groups. So for example, our rotator cuffs, our hips, our feet, our core, not just our abdomen, but our core in general. These are the muscle groups that are highly overlooked. Some might say they're not as important, but I don't believe in that. There is no muscle group that is more important than any of the other. If you start to think of your body as a complete, fully functioning unit, you wouldn't just skip one of your body parts because you'll end up with imbalances and that's what leads to injuries. So we wouldn't skip any of those bigger muscle groups. Why would we skip some of our smaller muscle groups? If I could go back and give myself any advice when I was in my late teens, early 20s, when I was really tuning up the intensity in the weight room and really getting into bodybuilding and competing in powerlifting competitions, I would tell myself two things. One, Joe, enjoy that hair that you have because one day you're gonna wake up 20 years from now and you're gonna be bald as shit. And two, don't neglect your accessory muscle groups. These smaller accessory exercises are gonna build stability into your shoulders. They're gonna build stability into your core and give you mobility and flexibility into your hips and into your legs so you can perform these big exercises efficiently and effectively. Today, I'm gonna show you my favorite exercises for these accessory muscle groups, what you wanna do and why they're so important, and you're gonna see that these are gonna complement all your other bigger lifts, all your other bigger muscle groups. All right, gang, our first accessory exercise is gonna help us with our legs. So we always train our legs, it's one of our major muscle groups. But what we wanna do to build up accessory strength to our legs is build our foot strength. Yes, our feet have muscles in them and we wanna gain strength and stability throughout them. Make sure you take your shoes off for this. So if you're in the gym, you can wear socks. Barefooted is always the best. I don't recommend doing this with shoes on. Remember, we want to get the most out of our foot health. I have plenty of videos on this platform where I'm bashing shoes. Go on and check them out. But just to reiterate, make yourself have bare feet for this one. I want you to set a timer for 1 minute. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna balance on one foot by bending the knee back and just holding. And if we need to take a break or if we're losing our balance, we just take our knee and bend it back down and let our toe tap and hold. And then from there, we go right back into balancing. Once that 60 seconds is done, go to the other side. Same idea, we're trying to balance. Oh, I'm feeling a little wobbly, no problem. I bend my knee, create my kickstand, and I'm right back up. No problem. Okay, now we're gonna add a progression to this. I want you to grab yourself a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball. We're gonna go back to bending the knee. We have it available to create our kickstand if we start losing balance. But what we're gonna do is keep in good posture through our spine. We're just gonna bounce the ball, alternating each hand you grab it with. So yeah, we're gonna include a bit of coordination as well. But after a while, this starts adding up, especially if the ball goes in a place that we don't want it to. No problem. We've gotta create our balance. If not, no big deal. We create our kickstand and then we're right back. Remember, our foot is our foundation of our leg health. We have strong feet. It's gonna build the foundation for the rest of your lower body. Once we're done with the minute on the one side, we're gonna go ahead and switch to a minute on the other side. And once again, if we feel like we're losing balance, no big deal. We're gonna create our kickstand and go right back up into it. Try to keep the posture through the core, keep breathing, and you're gonna work for 60 seconds. All right, next exercise for our legs, we wanna work into those hips. The second part of having nice, strong legs is having good flexibility, mobility, and stability through those hips. First, we're gonna start with external rotation or our abductor muscles. So one of my favorite ones to do here is to grab ourselves a mini band of some sorts and go down to the floor. We're gonna put the band right above your knees and we're gonna perform clamshells. So make sure your feet are stacked with our heels staying together. You're also gonna plant your elbow, top hand on the top hip. We're gonna keep those ankles together and all you're gonna do is just raise up that top knee as high as you can, hold it for a second and then bring it down. Nice and easy, big squeeze and a slow release. I want you to do this for at least 25 reps and you're definitely gonna start feeling that side butt working. Once you get to 25 there, flip around, same rules apply. 25 reps again. All right, our next exercise for those legs and our hips is to do some internal rotation or some adduction. A very simple exercise. All you're gonna need is a Swiss ball. Sit on a bench so your feet are nice and flat. Very important when you're doing this one. Don't allow your feet to roll open or your big toes to lift. We wanna create tension through those feet and we wanna create tension through the toes. Now while we're here, you can keep your hands on the ball so it doesn't fly away from you. All you're gonna focus on is squeezing those knees together, hold it for about 1 or 2 seconds, and then release. Keeping time under tension on that adduction, on that squeezing of the hips and the inner thigh and groin here is gonna be important. So pretend like you're trying to bust open a watermelon, get those strong thighs, squeezing that ball, and then release. This is gonna be another one you want high reps for, at least 25 reps. One good set, going slow, take your time, big squeeze, and release. Keep those feet nice and flat. All right, our next accessory exercise is gonna be your hand grip. How many times have you been lifting and you had to give up on an exercise because your grip strength just wasn't quite there? This is one of the best exercises that you could do to help build up strong hands, strong forearms, and we're gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You're also gonna get great core stability from this exercise. You could do this as an intro to your workout. You could do this as part of your workout, but never ever neglect this exercise. One of the best ones that you could do that's fully functional for everyday life. And it's gonna be a farmer's carry. So you can feel free to use dumbbells or kettlebells or any sort of weight that you'd like. I'm gonna use these dumbbells. We're gonna go ahead and grab them, stand up nice and tall with them, looking forward, and you're just gonna walk. And I'm walking out the length of my gym. My recommendation is at least 25 steps in one direction, 25 steps to the other. Take your time, breathe through your core, focus on keeping those hands strong. The greatest thing about this one is when you just can't do any more, dump them. Whether you dump from here or watch your feet, dump them from there, be safe. All right, next we're gonna start getting into our rotator cuffs. But first, we wanna make sure that our shoulder blades can move properly, and that muscle that controls that is your serratus. That's located right underneath your armpit here, kind of connecting your lats to your obliques, but those are the muscles that make your shoulder blades retract and protract around your rib cage. So what you're gonna need for this today to add some resistance to that is using a mini band. You're gonna place it around your wrists, and throughout the exercise, you want pressure to the outside of the wrist and inside of the elbow. Our elbow will be bent at a 90-degree angle throughout the course of the exercise. We're gonna start with that band at our belly button. We're seated the whole time. Our posture is up through our spine. You're gonna go very slow and focus on your breathing and your core as we bring the band up past our eyesight. So your arms should stay at that 90-degree angle. Our elbows are in, pressure to the outside of the wrists. We're gonna bypass our eyesight, and then from there, we're gonna slowly bring our elbows back down, thinking of squeezing and retracting the shoulder blades. So again, as we're coming up, we're bringing up the band past the eyesight. Our shoulder blades are gonna start protracting and moving around our rib cage. And then as we come down, we're squeezing the shoulder blades. You should feel this in those arms, those rotator cuffs, again in that serratus, which is the primary mover and primary accessory muscle we want to work here. You'll even feel those lower traps, the middle part of your back really lighting up if you're doing this correctly. Take your time, only 10 reps through that. Going nice and slow, that's all you're gonna need. All right, now we're getting into those rotator cuffs. Your rotator cuff has several small muscles involved with them. The best exercise that you can do to work all those little muscles in your rotator cuffs is gonna be the face pull. All you're gonna need is a resistance band queued up to an anchor point like I have here. You're gonna feed your hands through the resistance band, and you're gonna start with your arms extended, a little bit of tension on the band. We wanna focus on our elbows going from the tucked position to going out wide and high, with our thumbs over the top of the ears and our arms stopping at about a 90-degree angle. From there, we're gonna slowly let those elbows come back in and reset. Big focus on my spine staying neutral. I'm not gonna crimp at the spine. I'm not pulling. I'm not staggering my stance. I'm staying very square throughout my stance. I'm allowing my elbows to do the movement. I'm squeezing as far back as I can through my shoulder blades, and then I'm slowly releasing, allowing my elbows to come forward. Again, going slow as I'm coming back, spending a second or two back here, holding it, squeezing, chin up, good posture through my spine and my core, and then slowly releasing with my elbows in front. Another one you wanna do for high reps, 15 to 20. You could hit this one before or after your workout. All right, now we're gonna work our lower back muscles. Another area that sometimes we don't quite isolate. You're gonna lie prone on your stomach, and we're gonna start with just a basic back extension. You're gonna keep your legs dead weighted on the floor. You're gonna take your hands and fold them, and then you're gonna place them to the floor and rest your forehead on top of your hands. And all you're gonna do from here is think about raising your chin and your hands as high as you can, hold it for a second, and then slowly work your way down. Another exercise where we wanna go very slow, take our time, especially through the eccentric as we go down. Another one of those exercises where you can really start feeling that lower back light up, high reps, anywhere from 25 to 30. There you have it, gang. Those are my favorite accessory exercises. It's never too late to add these in. Get after it.